Yo, Elliot.
So we got this question from our buddy who calls himself Flamethrower. He's a pitcher, he plays baseball in college, and he's got multiple Major League Baseball teams checking him out, ready to sign him on to their team, give him a pro contract. Correct me if I'm wrong, but professional baseball players earn a shitload of money, right? I mean, you earn enough money to feed entire starving nations, perhaps, every month. But anyway, our friend's got a problem. He says he's just not motivated to train. He can't get into the mindset that's needed to condition his body. He doesn't want to do the sprints and any of the conditioning exercises that are necessary for him to perform better in his sport. But he's doing really well. So he's not motivated to train. So what that sounds like to me is you're really not that motivated by the multi-million-dollar contract that's potentially ahead of you, right? Because you're basically telling me that the Major League Baseball teams are knocking down my door, but I don't want to fucking train, right? And I know it's not that simplistic. He says that I'm desperate, I just can't build the motivation to train. That's a big fucking carrot in front of you, bro. And you can't get yourself excited about it. No judgment here. But I guarantee you that if you were to take that opportunity, all that money that you could potentially be earning for doing something you love, and you gave the same opportunity to some kid in El Salvador whose father picks through garbage in order for them to find pieces of jewelry to sell in the market so that he can have food in his fucking belly, he'd be running like a maniac, like fucking Forrest Gump, every single day without anyone having to tell him. He'd get up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, all day long he would fucking run. If the potential for him to earn just enough money actually to put a roof over his family's head and a morsel in their mouth, much less enough money to feed the entire country, he wouldn't need that much motivation. Problem with you, and again, I don't say this from a place of judgment or accusation, not wagging my finger at you, trying to bring light to the situation, is that things are just too goddamn good for you. Do you understand? There are two different types of motivation, right? And of course I've talked about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. But what I'm talking about here now are different motivating factors that either get you to run away from shit or towards shit. And I guarantee you, 90% of people are far more motivated by running away from shit than running towards shit, right? Because, so for example, if that multi-million-dollar contract on the other end of you doing some exercises was a dog with big fangs chomping at your ass, your juicy little ass that you don't want to get up and train with, chop, 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 coming at you, you'd run like a motherfucker. If that dog was chasing you, you wouldn't stop running. Because bad shit's about to happen, and running away from bad shit is always easier than running towards something, right? That $1 million on the other end. So there are a few different ideas that might support you. Number one, apparently you've got everything that you want. You're probably very comfortable. Your parents probably have enough money. You probably go to a really nice university that daddy wrote a check for. All assumptions, of course, I could be wrong. You got enough food in your belly. You've got clothing. You probably have a nice little girlfriend at home that sucks your dick. Everything's all right. So there really isn't too much nipping at your ass. Couple $1 million, big deal. I could probably go work for daddy's law firm, or, you know, even in America, you really can't sink that low because you get food stamps. You'll be all right. So really, there's nothing chopping at your ass. So what I would invite you to do is, basically what you've got to do is you've got to tell yourself different stories. This is where intrinsic motivation comes in. Extrinsic motivation is the dog is chopping at your ass. See, what I had to do in order to create the circumstances that would get me where I am in life is to create a lot of debt. I was deeply in debt. I threw myself out into the world with absolutely no safety net, and it was sink or swim. Right? Fucking swim, otherwise you sink. I mean, that's the best way to learn how to swim, right? That's how my dad learned how to swim. He told me a story about when he was a kid and he wanted to cross the river with his friends, and he was the only one that didn't know how to swim. His friend took him into the river, swam away, and he had to figure out how to get to the other side. You figure out how to swim when you have no other choice. So I created a situation where I had no other choice. You could do that for yourself. It's very difficult, and I don't know what that would look like for you. Create a situation where it's like you have no other fucking choice but to get up and run, like that kid who couldn't eat if he didn't do what he had to do. Or replace the idea that you will be receiving something for your activity, for your skills. Replace it with a bigger vision. A vision that's so big, so all-encompassing. Usually one that incorporates the safety and security and the service towards many people. One that's just like, it's so big that it draws you forward. And that would mean I'm training for baseball to earn multi-millions of dollars, but not necessarily for me. I'm going to donate it to a cause that supports children in a very poor country somewhere, Bangladesh, who want to learn how to program computers so that they can move into economic freedom. I don't know. Something where you're supporting other people who ain't got shit. Something where you're supporting a greater vision. This is part of the reason why older people get into church. They get, like, all of a sudden they turn like 50 and shit, like they know they're gonna die soon and they've got like some money left over, and in order to draw themselves forward into life, they join bigger picture organizations. They go to church and they give all their money to the church, right? Because it's a legacy. So now really what you're doing is you're looking at your legacy, building your legacy. You're not playing baseball, you're not training for $1 million, because you're not motivated by $1 million. Right? Neither am I. I'm not too motivated by things. I was really motivated by not being bitten by that fucking dog of debt. But things don't really motivate me that much, But a big vision does. A big part of my vision is supporting you guys through these videos, making you the strongest version of yourself. I don't even understand how big my legacy is or how much of a legacy I'm creating through these videos. But I get your tweets, and I see your Facebook posts, and I know that what I'm doing is not just so Elliott Hulse can earn a paycheck, so that Elliott Hulse has enough money to put food in his children's mouths, but when I don't want to do this, I read those emails you send me about how I helped you develop a stronger body so that you can earn a college scholarship, so that you can be the first one in your family not to be a drunk and on welfare. Or how I helped you with some ideas out of depression. See, now I'm supporting millions of people. So I have to do it. I get up to do it because it's not about me anymore. It's about the bigger vision. It's about the legacy. Contribute in some way. Oftentimes when we take the focus off of ourselves, that's a part of your question. You said, how do I focus? I think part of the problem is you're focusing too much on yourself and what you're going to get and what you have to do to get what you're supposed to get. And what can you do to support other people? How can you help the world at large? I hate using that word, help the world or save the world, because all that's bullshit. But really, how are you going to contribute in the way that you feel fit to make the lives of other people better, more resourceful, more enjoyable for them? If you can do that, you're coming from perhaps the most powerful place. The least powerful place is to be running away from a dog chomping at your ass. It's the easiest one to create. So oftentimes I make videos and I tell you guys, quit your job and move out of your parents' house. Go live on the street and see what happens. The reason why is because now you basically just opened up a cage and let two dogs out at your ass. You're gonna succeed. You create that situation, you're gonna succeed. It's difficult, and a lot of people get angry when Elliott Hulse says that because it sounds irresponsible. The other one is for personal gain. I'm motivated for personal gain. I'm going to earn $1 million. Clearly that's not working for you. The third one, so I started off saying there was two, but clearly there are three. Personal gain being one, but I think it's a weak one. A stronger one is to do it not for you. Do it for the bigger picture. Do it for your legacy. Do it for those who are going to benefit from your success. You get up and run every day, not towards the money that you're going to put in your bank account, because clearly that doesn't motivate you. You're running every single day in order to put food in hungry children's mouths, bring technology to children or people in the world where, because of the lack thereof, they live miserably. Bring medical care to sick people something bigger. Hope that helps. Done.
Yo, Elliot,